ulama of the ummah of Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam, أن الله عز وجل may give us what we asked for. That's one. الاستجابة منه لنا سبحانه وتعالى بالمنة والعطاء والنصر. That's one way, not the only way. When we ask him for what we ask him, he does. He may give us what we ask him for. That's number one. Or number two, he may not give us exactly what we ask for in accordance to his divine eternal wisdom. And that is أن يدخر لنا ما سألنا إلى عطاء يوم القيامة. That he subhanahu wa ta'ala instead will save what we asked him in this dunya for the hereafter. In a way, when he gives in the hereafter, he gives in many folds, many times more than what we have asked him for. In this dunya, sometimes Allah wants to give us, but this dunya is not enough for us to be given. So he subhanahu wa ta'ala wills us to have what we asked for in akhirah, where it is infinitely possible, infinitely available. And sometimes also the wrongdoer, the mujrim, the criminal, the munafiq, the kafir, may not be punished in this dunya. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala defers that punishment to akhirah, because the punishment in this dunya is not enough. And this dunya cannot bear that punishment. So it is deferred to akhirah. Wal-'iyadhu billah. Thirdly, he subhanahu wa ta'ala, instead of giving us directly, he may subhanahu wa ta'ala prevent harm from us to occur to us commensurate to the weight or the value of what we asked him for in this dunya. Instead of giving us something in his divine wisdom subhanahu wa ta'ala and will, he instead keeps away from us harm that would be equal to what we asked him for. And we oftentimes don't think about why in the morning I left my home to go to work, somebody had a car accident and in front of my eyes, and I see that person, and I have seen that, dying, and it did not happen to me. Why? We never ask why. Perhaps because this is one of the ways Allah is answering your dua. For giving something, he prevented that to happen to you. وَقِسْ عَلَى ذَلِكَ. And use your extensions and your analogical extensions to many examples in our lives. Fourthly, he subhanahu wa ta'ala يُكَفِّرُ عَنَّا سَيِّئَاتِنَا. That by subjecting us to what he's subjecting us, and by deferring or seemingly to me postponing, or seemingly to me not answering my dua directly, that is, he continues to subject me to that which seems to me uncomfortable to me, because I have committed many dhunub before, many sins. And he will subhanahu wa ta'ala to cleanse me in this dunya from those dhunub, so that in akhirah I am not subject to his divine punishment, wal-'iyadhu billah, by his grace. Who has not committed them from us, and maybe even never repented from that dhanb? Individuals and communities, the community dhunub, the ummati dhunub. And Allah Azza wa Jal may be subjecting us to what He's subjecting us by His divine latif grace, washing us from those dhunub through those challenges. Fourthly or fifthly, He could be subhanahu wa ta'ala, instead of giving us directly, He could be subhanahu wa ta'ala not giving us directly, and by subjecting us to what He's subjecting us with our patience And He grants us patience and forbearance to elevate us in degrees of proximity and nearness to Him Azza wa Jal. ليقربنا منه عز وجل زلفى بتلك الشدائد والمصائب. Yes. And then on the day of judgment, some of us would wish, and maybe even as communities would wish, that everything He postponed to Akhirah for us, when we see what happens in Akhirah. And for us as believers, life is not only this four-dimensional existence. This four-dimensional existence is only a part of our existence. When we die, we do not die. When we die, we do not die, meaning when we die, we are simply transferred to another level of existence. Hayatul Barzakh, as Allah tells us in His Nabi. And then after that, Hayatu ma ba'da yawm al-qiyamati al-hayat.